you've been desperate to say something about this French team.
I think England really raised their performance against Wales, and you know, through the certain comments in the media by certain people, I think they really raised their game. Defensively, they were awesome. They've done this, so they've improved their performances per game. Against this side, they have to do it again. They have to go up another level if they think they're going to win.
Well, there's a leader, Thierry Dusautoir, and we spoke about Chris Robshaw's leadership from an England perspective. Jerry, but in behind Robshaw, Owen Farrell's got to lead as well. And is this another stage on the learning process for him today?
It is. Every game will be, but you just feel with this kid that he'll take everything in his stride. I mean, he just doesn't seem to be phased. What I'd like to see him add to his game, other than pace, which will take time, will be to have the confidence in giving the ball out.
What a great shot that was as the two teams enter the arena. There is something about this Abdel Benazi. So there's something about France against England. We love them and we hate them, and then we love them again. What, you know, you played in so many of these games, Jerry. What's it like from an English perspective?
It's a huge challenge, and one that I loved. The French always played rugby in an unexpected way. You didn't know what you were going to come against. This man also, Thomas, I played against, and it was a special time, particularly in Paris. The crowd get behind their team.
But be sure that when we play against England, it's always a special thing too.
It's such a place to come. The first 20 minutes, if France have come to play, it is the toughest 20 minutes in international rugby.
But we know they haven't.
You are chasing shadows.
I won't ask these two guys. Who's going to win, Jonathan?
France.
Eddie Butler.
He knows about rugby.
Eddie Butler and Brian Moore will describe the action after the anthems.
Mesdames et messieurs, en l'honneur de l'équipe de France, la Marseillaise.
The Stade de France, not exactly warm, but certainly not frozen. France at home to England. The England team coming here to face mighty France. Jeff Parling and Maurice Botha in the second row. What they want is a supply of quick line netball. The speed of possession for England will be all important. Nothing particularly new on the England bench. Charlie Hodgson will be the replacement outside half. No place for Toby Flood of Leicester. It's been a talking point in England. The French team, nothing but the familiar there, with a possible exception of Yoann Maestri up front, the young second row. And behind, of course, the advance of Wesley Fofana into the international game. 3 games, 3 tries. Our very own Serge Betsen, his chosen charity, Autism in France. This is a little moment. There we go. The game is not yet underway. Our very own Serge. Referee Alain Roland of Ireland. Haven't seen much of Mr. Roland lately. We all know what he did, Brian.
Well, I don't subscribe to the view that because they're the French parent that it makes any difference at all.
Time on, please.
Here we go. The RBS Six Nations is underway in Paris. France against England. Jeff Parling goes up, but leaves it for Maurice Buerta, or sort of
Ball's
underflies
outside.
the ball. Scrum half Lee Dixon waits. England have piled all their forwards into the first ruck.
Outside.
And we have
outside,
our first slow ruck of the game.
Lost
All
forward
so
off
easily.
white.
Alan Roland has given the put into
Lost
France
forward
at the
white.
scrum, but there wasn't much of a challenge by the French for that high ball, Brian.
No, it was just slightly too short, but nevertheless it was good speed for the England chasers. And this is where, although England do have a weight advantage, this is where they really have to put the hard work in, because they had a lot of trouble here. And of all the scrums in the Six Nations, the French are the ones that, if they get on top, will retain that advantage.
Pause. Engage.
New scrum half, Julien Dupuis feeds the scrum. Arinal Deki with the pickup. Julien Malzieu off the left wing. The lack of tolerance, zero tolerance, that has been evident this weekend continues. Alain Roland penalises France for coming in off their feet.
Well, the law is that whatever you do at a breakdown, you've got to do it immediately, whether you're releasing the player, whether you're playing the ball, and just about, it's a long touch find. Thought it was a little too ambitious, but it's given England a very good attacking opportunity. It was Tom Croft, I think, here was first in. There he is, quick over the ball.
That's Julien Bonner, looking slightly startled. France are inside their 22 with Dylan Hartley to throw. They try the long ball, works well. Tom Croft goes up. The inside ball, Lee Dixon! England pour forward. Chris Robshaw plays scrum half. Manu Tuilangi. Dixon. Through the forward route. Buerta goes in. England rumble forward. It's not bad for them. Dan Cole, the prop. Farrell. Switch of play to Ilangi. Sharples the new wing. Second cap, not his first. And Buerta knocks on.
Well, an unfortunate, unforced error to end was an inventive passage of play for England, although you do have to give credit to the French defence for sealing the gaps very quickly. Initially, England looked to have had an overlap on the left, but it was closed down very quickly.
Bring the two of you in.
The thing is, though, England cannot afford to waste too many of those, because they won't get that many pieces of ball against the French.
On the other hand, you might say the theory nowadays is you contain France for that opening 20 minutes and anything becomes possible. And if you're down here, you're in the right spot. Not an entirely comfortable scrummage for France there, but they're up into the England half and now back in their own. Ben Foden. Farrell, the change of tactic, that should be easy to mark. Lionel Bouksis takes it quickly and puts it behind Chris Ashton. He's had a very quiet Six Nations, Chris Ashton. Interesting kick there. Rougerie did well to field it because it had the odd bounce on it. And Rougerie follows up with a firm tackle.
forward.
France have turned it over.
Have turned it. Dupuis kicks away possession. Only Dupuis is in pursuit. This is Ashton again. Harry Nordique will take the slower line out.
And so it should, because the first time France have been in English territory. A tremendous piece of hitting there, wasn't it, by Rougerie? Following up his own kick.
Emmanuel Harry-Nordique. A certain pressure on the French back row. They've got Louis Picamol on the bench, who is certainly their carrier from number 8. Their line-out expert, Julien Bonnet, delivers. Rougerie was lying flat. He had a... This is Dimitri Zalzewski. France rumbling forward. No great injection of pace yet. Thierry Dusautoir. Pascal Papé.
That's where England need to get more numbers in. When they catch someone behind the gain line, the line speed is good. To make sure the fans are immediately over the ball and give Alan Roland a decision to make.
France deliberately going forward. Bourgsis missed with 2 against Scotland, against Ireland late. Misses against England early. Ben Foden. That's a huge clearance by Foden. A fumble by Vincent Clerc, but he is safely with his own 22. Moritz Botha is the injured player. Getting back on his feet as Ben Morgan comes away with it, but that's an untidy end.
Offside and offside. Okay, we'll take the knock-on.
Knock on first.
Well, I thought I heard for a second there the referee called that he was offside. So I don't know whether he was communicating with his touch judge or he's making a decision. Whatever it was self-inflicted by England with no apparent danger, which has ceded ground after what was a very long punt by Foden. And England really ought to have come away with a bit more than they have done.
Well, it's been open enough, Brian. I mean, there's been a lot of kicking, but it's no surprise from France. Dupuis and Bourgsis aren't really going to open it up.
No, they've been picked to do just that. But England have to make sure that if that is negated, then they very much take away one of the French planks of the reason for picking those half-backs. But they won't do that if they make unforced errors in the manner they just did.
Lionel Bourgsis restored to the number 10 position. So it just means François Tardy does what he's growing accustomed to, being dropped to the bench. And France again not entirely comfortable there, Brian, would you say?
No, England getting an early shove on, which shouldn't be allowed. But then again, referees...
Until the ball comes in, there's no pushing to the mark.
Well, that's exactly what I was saying, but then again, that's just what's been allowed, so I'm a bit confused. I think an interesting point to make. When England made that break in the 22, and it was obviously a planned move, I do not know why there wasn't a man on the shoulder.
Been a scrum by France, and they are awarded the penalty. England driving up.
Number 2 coming out of the scrum.
Dylan Hartley singled out.
Let's have a look who comes up first. It is Dylan Hartley. The reason usually, though, for penalising people coming out the scrum is that it's actually a defensive tactic. When you're being pushed backwards, if you can stand up, it negates all the shoving, pushing it right up into the air. If a scrum is going forward, all it does is dissipate the drive and gives you no advantage at all.
Scrum half, Julien Dupuis.
But the point
is going to be the place kicker.
Yeah, sorry, the point I was going to make is that you know, it's going to be a difficult enough job anyway for England here. What they can't do, you can't afford to give penalties that are kickable in this position because you can't defend these. Make France take things, don't give them.
Slides wide, so England escape. Looking for a cheeky one and opt instead for the conventional. Owen Farrell. Not quite conventional, the right-footed kicker going right. Julien Malzieu, the Giants Clermont winger, sets off. France have got a load of forwards out here. Wesley Fofana is not one of them. Boxis, Rougerie. The crowd claim the high tackle. Play goes on untidily. But it is the high tackle that is penalised.
Interesting line of defence there. What do you think? I think it's...
That's not a high tackle.
I don't think it is a high tackle.
Pardon? His first pilot was fine, but then his action went up around the neck and took him high. So that's what it's for, okay?
Did you hear that, Brian?
I did hear that. And it's not
Didn't start off dangerous.
Right, it didn't become dangerous either. But look, it doesn't matter what I think or you. In the end, it's what Alan Rowland, the referee, decides. And the fact is that England, you know, find themselves under pressure again from something which was of their own making.
Dimitri Zalewski is the thrower. Up goes Aaron O'Doherty, and on comes the drive.
England doing well there to drop that first off before it got moving.
No, it's
Nicolas
okay.
Mas
No.
with a little drive. Dupuis. 2-on-1 as Vincent Clerc comes away with it. Switched from Dupuis. Boxis. Owen Farrell with a very good tackle. This is Clément Poitrenaud, spotted the mismatches. This is Julien Bonner on the wide outside, missed tackles. Bonner just short. Great run by the wing forward. Fofana short as well. And England are rewarded with the penalty.
Well, I agree with the decision for a penalty to England, but not for the reason Alan Rowland gave for a man coming off his feet. I thought that Fofana got turned the wrong way and then didn't let go of the ball. No crossing there, perfectly okay. And I thought just for a second that he was going to wriggle away. I think they did enough just in combination to put... Oh, Nicolas Sarkozy.
It's election time.
Wait. No late throws.
There you go.
And
Ian Ritchie.
Well, he's been elected, hasn't he?
He's in, yeah. Lee Dixon down the touchline.
That was good work by Parling, good work off the top. And good chase as well.
Tackle. Charlie Sharples involving himself.
It was good work by Sharples, but England need the second line to be up there slightly quicker.
Boxis sort of lands in stationary territory. It falls well low for Thierry Dusautoir. It falls well for Owen Farrell, and now it goes to Manu Tuilagi. It's about pace now. Rougerie across against Tuilagi. Tuilagi scores for England out of nothing. England take the lead at the Stade de France.
What a tremendous effort, solo effort by Tuilagi. And it wasn't just that, but it was the hit. I couldn't see who it was who came in and made the decision because it was coming over from left. I can't see who makes the hit, you know, if this goes over. But there was just for a second a 3-on-1 for France. We need to go back a little bit to see who made the crucial defensive effort for England. Had a lot to do, didn't he, Tuilagi?
Chris Ashton with the tackle, I think, and Tuilagi, well, that's good pace.
For 17 stone, yes.
I think he got a centre of the try line and not much was going to stop him. He is a force. Manu Tuilagi puts England into the lead. Thierry Dusautoir, who recaptured the ball, only to see it dislodged back England's way. Owen Farrell with the conversion. That's a brilliant top-up to the try.
Can I ask you to take it from there, not 4 or 5 minutes after? What's that? When I give you a mark at the penalties, don't go 4 or 5 minutes after.
When Farrell just warned about where he was taking penalty from, I think. But the upshot is France are down by 7 at home to England. Huge height on this restart, and that's very well taken by Tom Croft. Farrell. Fullback Clément Poitonnot. We go into the air again. Ben Morgan. Well, it's come down instead to Brad Barrett, and England safely back in possession. They're managing this pretty well, England. The game is aerial. Here's Charlie Sharples. Oops, that's why maybe we're seeing so much kicking.
In the side.
In the side as well, very, very blatant.
Number 4 white, in the side.
That's lazy. Well, here we see the ball coming left here. Look how many men there are over there for 1-2. It's a crucial hit by Chris Ashton. And that, more than anything, was responsible for England's score. It was well finished by Tuilagi, but it was an important hit, stepping off the wing. And how often do you see this happen? Sides making a score and then giving a shot at goal away, which might negate 3 of the points that England had worked hard to put on the board. Maurice Borthwick simply didn't make the hard yards and go back round. He simply took a shortcut and came in from the side.
Just thinking about this kicking game, if you are going to let Lionel Beauxis here, as he prepares for place kick so much from hand, it has to be better than that up and under. Well, that's a very good place kick by Beauxis. Lawrence, 7-3, impressions?
Yeah, certainly England up and running on the scoreboard just as France come back with a penalty, but Tuilagi still had it all to do. Dixon feeds him and he's got Rougerie coming over just as Rougerie's about to tackle. He takes a little jump in the air which stops Rougerie from getting him round both ankles, and even though he falls over, he ensures that he gets over the line. Very clever from Tuilagi there.
Farrell towards Imanol Arinodaki. Jeff Parling with the tackle. Dupuis towards Ben Morgan. This is what Ben Morgan does very well. Slips out of 1 tackle, 2 tackles, 3 tackles, gets the pass away, and it is going to be the score. Oh, brilliant by England, brilliant by Ben Morgan.
Well, this is an England team that, it was said, couldn't score tries, couldn't attack, and yet they fashioned 2 counter-attacks. 14 points within the first, 16 minutes, and that was superb work by Morgan. Not only did he stay on his feet, but he had presence of mind to look for his support out the back of his hand.
Oh, there was still a lot for Ken Foden to do there.
Tenacious work by Foden as well. But it's a support there, it's a commitment to get on the shoulder
Farrell again adds the 2 points, and England 2 tries to the good, 14 points to 3 here. And again, Brian, it comes from a kick that led to trouble.
Well, if Buxis is going to come in and play a kicking game, he's got to play a proper kicking game, and not one that is going to put France into trouble. On the other side of the equation, you could say that actually, as last week, the French chase of the kicks has been at best
Here's Morgan again, and he did ever so well. What an offload to Chris Ashton. Ashton tackled by Arinor de Key. And it's looking promising for England as they come forward. And it's Brad Barrett who feeds Farrell. That's behind Poitrenaud. That will do.
It will do because it gives England a chance to attack the French line out. Well, there wasn't an extra man there. And whatever happened, it makes sure that England are in the right area of the field, that any transgression by the French is within kicking range. Now, what can Pauling and Botha fashion out of this? French have cut the line.
Arinor de Key catches safely.
And he is very quick. A very simple move, up and down, but the fact is, he is so quick off his feet that it's impossible to follow. One of the best in the world at that.
And how much ground has Buxis made with that clearing kick? It's not bad, but it still leaves England in a good attacking position.
Well, it leaves England where they want to be in French territory and out of kicking range if you want to be negative.
England cut the numbers in the line-out. Ben Morgan makes his way out into midfield. There he is, between the halfway line and going back towards the 10-metre line. Chris Robshaw's out there too.
That's interesting, isn't it? Great start by England.
Farrell, Barrett, Morgan. Jeff Parling from the second row, and it took a tackle by prop Nicolas Mas to stop him. Farrell, Robshaw. France's tackling is not as strong as it should be. Manu Tuilagi.
Eddie, I don't think there's anything wrong with the actual tackling. It's the fact that England are manoeuvring and playing the runners and the angles and finding gaps.
Here's Farrell, Dan Cole. Did well, Cole, because he was a bit of a standing target for a moment. Ashton. Poitrenaud comes across.
Has he taken that in?
He thinks he did, because that knock on by Dixon.
Well, that's a great shame from an England point of view, because Dixon had, well, a clear field in front of him.
I don't think Moritz Botha is well. He's struggling.
Time off, Jim.
This is Clément Poitrenaud. Where did he take that? In front of the goal line.
Yep, he did. So it was good covering work by Sharples, who made a lot of ground to put him under pressure.
I need to tell me you're comfortable for him to carry on. That's all I want. Yeah.
I'm not worried about his neck.
Okay.
He just can't get any sensation in his arm.
Okay. I'm going to again. I want you to be comfortable that he's okay.
Did you hear the explanation? They said, I'm not worried about his neck, he's just got no sensation in his arm. Oh, well, that's okay then. Well, Phil Pask there is the physio who's having a look at him. Phil Pask, a Northampton stalwart. He's a very good physio. You can be assured that he's not going to let anything dangerous go.
Ben Morgan in full flow.
Well,
Lawrence.
Yeah, if we look at the two sides of Ben Morgan, you know, when he got his first touch of the ball here, he just gets the ball, and his first option is to pass the ball, and Chris Ashton's standing slightly in front of him. He's got all this space to run into, you know, and all he does is pass the ball. And unfortunately, on this occasion, England's attack peters out into nothing. This time, no chance to pass the ball. Just do what you do well, Ben. Beats 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 defenders, swaps the ball and hands it over for the England try. Fantastic piece of play by Ben Morgan.
Double Ben, Morgan and Foden. Back after Botha is up and with feeling in his arms, perhaps. England have conceded the penalty and France push them back into their own half.
Still looks very ginger to me, does Botha, and you know, the thing is, now then, who is that?
He's always here. Not his first. Dimitri Zalewski. A lot of movement in front of him, but the age-old target, Arinaud the key. Pascal Pape.
Tackle away!
And Brad Barrett doing again what he's done throughout the whole of the Six Nations, tackling well.
Terribly laboured in midfield, and they end up putting the boot to it again.
Well, the thing is, he had to put the boot to it because he'd been sent backwards. Felt he had no option.
Oh, that's forward.
That was forward, yes.
Lionel Boxis to Clément Poissonneau.
That's
it's
where
pretty,
England,
but they're not getting anywhere.
that's where England have to put the men in. Force the turnovers there.
Malzieu off the wing. Oh, France. Dear, dear.
Well, it's very laboured from France, isn't it? But England are getting up in the face as the line speed is good. And I go back to the point that, Eddie, when you made the criticism of the French tackling, I don't necessarily think France have been missing their tackles. They've been manoeuvred by England, who are playing more intelligently at the moment.
Yeah, I just think there's something missing from the French team at the moment, a sort of collective confidence in defence, certainly in attack.
Well, it's fitful, isn't it? You know, we don't seem to have the commitment to the way that France can play, and using Fofana and players like that to get over the gain line. Now, you tell me whether that's not an early drive. Alan Rowland said in the first scrum, don't push early.
Well, he might say England have to get the ball in
I
early
asked
as
you
well.
not to push before the ball, so I'd say the same.
Yeah,
Il faut
but-
pas pousser vers le ballon, s'il vous plaît.
Yeah,
No,
right. It's
no,
said to both sides. Why didn't he
No,
penalise
pushing
somebody?
before the ball comes in.
Penalise
Yes, the ball
England
will be
if
there.
they push early, penalise France if they push early. That is the law.
Perhaps he just wants to get a feel of who's in the
Well, perhaps he ought to
ascendancy
do his
here.
job.
He's interpreting, Brian. He's not doing it to the letter of the law. We need interpretation from referees.
Crouch!
And where will that get us? It get us to the present mess we're in.
Pause, engage!
Up pop the England front row again. Referee says play on. And we'll reset. He's still interpreting, Brian.
He is, and what was the difference between that and the penalty he gave?
The two front rows are coming up. Les deux premières lignes se lèvent. You have to push straight. Poussez droit, s'il vous plaît. Il faut pas, il y a les deux premières lignes qui sortent. The two front rows are coming up, please. There we are.
It doesn't matter to me that he can speak French fluently. It just means he gets it wrong in two languages.
Crouch!
Just adds to your confusion, Brian.
Touch! Pause, engage!
Lee Dixon with the feed. Good scrummage by England. Ben Morgan just has a little look, but the scrum is solid enough to win England. In the end, your penalty, Brian.
Having a shot? Shot signal.
Well, a lot of the England backs running up to pat the forwards on the back for their effort there. That you never saw Jerry Guscott doing that to me. But immensely welcome. And you've got that displays a lot of confidence, actually, by the England pack, to say that they will keep their own ball and try and drive a pack which is notoriously good at scrummaging and put them under pressure. And that's attacking right at the heart of French psyche. Believe me, if they start to get pushed in the scrums and driven in the forwards, they haven't got much else to go, really, when they've picked this half-back combination that is predicated on getting field position, you know, and them working these set piece.
Moritz Botha still stretching his neck. Here's little Owen Farrell off the post. Bonner with the catch, follow up by Brad Barrett.
I'll tell you, that was great work by Bonner. He plucked that out of the air, and if that looked easy, it was all because he's got brilliant hands. It cannoned back off, had very little time to react.
The post is still wobbling. Here's Julien Dupuis. And France have had to throw a lot of forwards into this defensive operation. Boxis gets it away well enough. visitors to the Republic. Head of the Republic.
I wonder,
happy, does he?
Is that because of the European debt crisis, or
14-3, I think. Parling stretches. England have lost their own line-out.
Too early to be too negative about a couple of things there, but you know, England really wanted that to go over, to put 2 converted scores between them and the French, and also just to put the pressure back under, not allow France to kick their way out, because Boxes from here, I think, will kick the ball long, put England back into their territory. Ireland showed last week that if you take the foot off the pedal in terms of the pressure you put on the French, they're quite capable of coming back.
Pause, engage.
Dupuis unable to deal with the old Channel 1 ball, and it's gone chaotically bad for France because it went way forward from Marino de Key. England turned France over easily as Alex Caballero comes away with it. Farrell. Bonner tries to hold him up. And this time England have been turned over. And away comes Fofana. Dupuis, Arinaud de Key, Malzieu. Thierry Dusautoir out him. Dusautoir has to go in and bridge over the ball. This is Pascal Papé up against Owen Farrell. The second row is spelled.
Arinaud de Key's down, he's hurt.
Boxis, Rougerie. Poitrenaud flips it on to Vincent Clerc. Arinaud de Key is back up.
Oh, there it is there.
Fofana again.
Back!
Poitrenaud, Arinaud de Key. Back up and involved, and getting the pass away. Poitrenaud spots the gap and is through! Clément Poitrenaud for France. On his own, Dusautoir arrives. But it's going to be slow ball because France didn't have the numbers. Not just slow, turned over by England. Brad Barrett, Manu Tuilagi. Tuilagi just goes on when you think somebody must bring him down.
They've turned that ball over though. That's not good play from England.
It's opening up. Zalewski has to play the ball. Acting scrum half. This is wing Vincent Clerc. Boxis long, bouncing towards Julien Malzieu. Dupuis, Boxis, Zalewski on the angle. Have run themselves to a standstill here. They regroup. Dupuis, Arinaud de Key.
Away, tackler!
Boxis changes the routine. A tester for Ben Foden. And the test is passed.
Though that is utterly idiotic from England.
Penalty in France's favour against Tom Croft.
Absolutely nothing wrong with what Rougerie did there. He's entitled to go through with the tackle.
Just wait to hear what Alain Roland says here.
He was hit at the same time. As he was getting up, you're number 14. There's absolutely no need for him to get involved to do what he did. So I'm reversing. You're a free kick for you to a penalty for them for a transgression on your side. Cut it out, please. Okay? Full penalty. Yeah.
What do you make of that, Jerry?
Ashton's a bit out of sorts at the moment with Northampton. He appears to me to be in the Bermuda Triangle. Is he there or is he not? Is he playing? Is he not? And there he's just shown some frustration. Very unnecessary, very unprofessional. and Lancaster's going to be particularly upset with that. You saw how Dixon reacted as well. He could do without it, and so could England. But it was a real momentum swinger, the miss by Farrell. And France have gone into default mode now, and they're running the ball. They look much more comfortable playing their natural game. You know, when Boxy kicks it, that it's very unnatural.
Here's the end result. Julien Dupuis with the sitter. And it goes over, and France have 6. England still have those 2 converted tries, 14, but untidiness, Brian.
Well, not untidy, just brainless, really. Just, you know, the referee is there to make the decisions. There's nothing wrong in what Aurélien Rougerie did. He's entitled to go through it in a split second. He has to go through the tackle. You know, and you just stand there and say, well, you know, we'd actually got the mark. England had the mark.
Pape catches. And we can put the kettle on because Julien Dupuis is in no rush. He'll have to speed things up now, though.
You know, from a defensive point of view, Ashton is there. They're saying, look, we're fine, we're okay. Our fullback has caught the ball. He's got a mark. We're going to kick it to touch. No need. I thought earlier on, actually, you know, when the ball went left from the turnover that Ben Foden actually ripped, when it got to Alangi, if he'd have put the boot to the ball, I'm pretty sure Sharples would have won a foot race.
Harry Nordicki comes away with the ball on an England throw. And here's the other storming second row, Pascal Pape. Boutsis. That hasn't gone far enough forward at all. England back in possession. Owen Farrell. It might yet work for Brad Barrett, but no, because Wesley Fofana comes away. Brilliantly taken by Boutsis. Julien Malzieu. That's a fine tackle by Tom Croft. Chris Ashton slings it infield. And England suddenly had a chance to counter. Ben Foden, the fullback. Ben Morgan, the number 8. It's fast enough. Chris Robshaw, scrum half. This is Brad Barrett. Good little pass back to Dixon. Manu Tuilagi. Ben Morgan again. It's out, says the referee. French player injured in the way. In fact, Pascal Pape is down on the ground. And there's another one near the ruck. Lee Dixon. Farrell, good pickup. Foden. Now it's France who are putting the pressure on from the defensive situation. England have lost ground, but they still have the ball, and they have men beyond Moritz Botha. Well, they had a man, Manu Tuilagi. Dixon. Play on, says the referee. England turned over. Dupuis, Dusautoir, Fofana, Clément Poitrenaud, Boutsis, Poitrenaud again.
Hands out! Advantage! 1, 2.
Dylan Hartley gives away the penalty.
In, away.
The problem with England, apart from the fact that the concentration at set plays has gone down a little bit, especially the lineup, is that when they move the ball from the breakdown, they've got to make their mind up as to whether or not they come round the corner with enough men to free the ball, or when they take the ball in midfield, that they've got enough men out wide to do that. Because when they cut back, and it's an impromptu cutback and no one knows it's happening, it takes the runner away from the support players, and the French get in there and turn the ball over, which is what they've done 3 times now.
Food for thought in both coaching camps.
Jim, time out. No, he's coming off.
Vincent Clerc is coming off.
Just what I have you. Yeah, wait. Titi,
Toulouse teammate Clément Poitrenaud ushers him off, and Maxime Mermoz comes on. They'll have to reshuffle a bit, France. Mermoz is the centre. It looks as if Fofana is going out on the wing. Mermoz into the centre with Rougerie. Dusautoir sees the ball bounce past him. It comes kindly to Julien Malzieu. A lot of bouncing balls off the pass today. And here's Pascal Papé. He's had a good first half, the big second row. Rougerie. First touch for Mermoz, but it went forward. Poitrenaud couldn't quite release him.
And that has been one of the problems for the French of the whole Six Nations campaign thus far. The hands have not been as crisp as you would expect from French sides. They're usually able to put those sort of chances away. And time and again, in every game they've played, including this one, they've made errors like that.
There's Vincent Clerc, left shoulder. It hasn't been a great weekend for the little wingers. I'm thinking of Lee Jones for Scotland yesterday. Vincent Clerc off today, injured.
Just be conscious that if they do have ball and they can win it quickly, I don't want your players being in a position where they're kind of accidentally on purpose lying there in the way. Okay?
Always for them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I don't have an issue, but at the moment it's not an issue for you.
Alain Roland just explaining to Chris Robshaw what he does want and what he doesn't want. French captain Thierry Dusautoir having a word with his playmaker Lionel Buxis, and there's the injured Vincent Clerc. His game over.
Crouch.
2.5 minutes left in the first half.
Pause. Engage.
Good chance for France to turn and drive this scrimmage. That's what they try and do.
It's out. It's out.
Ball is out. In whose hands? England's. Now it's England's turn to slow everything down to this pace.
The French crowd booing because of England taking the time. And well, it's within the law. I don't think it should be. The referee should be allowed.
Oh, great catch, Emmanuel Arinolaki. Penalty to France. So, I must say, deliberate attempts to slow the ball down or just throw it high out of a lack of vision have been penalised in this game, which is good.
No, that's right.
Yeah. I've just asked you if there's a possibility for quick ball that we don't have somebody killing it, okay? This man, you came off your feet, okay, which puts you out of the game, all right? Now, at this stage now, I'm telling you, I want your players to ensure that they stay away from any ball. The watch has stopped, okay? So you can have a word, and I'll find out what they're doing. So they can't go, okay? Okay. Shot signal, please.
Well, that's fairly clear. That, to me, constitutes a final warning for England.
Time on, Jim. Okay, shot, yeah.
But the important thing is that with only, 2 minutes to go before half-time, instead of going in, well, potentially instead of going in with a 14-6 lead, it'll be down to...
I can be as loud as I can, but your players must remember they know what their obligation is.
Okay. Be down to one converted score difference to go in the lead.
Lionel Buxis. So France just happy to ring the changes with their kickers. Dupuis took the first one, Buxis has taken over, and that looks plumb centre. France trail by just 5 points now.
They're being disciplined by England. What is especially annoying for coaches is the fact that that took place on an England 10-metre line when there was enough cover to look after whatever came back from that breakdown. It wasn't in extremis in the red zone where someone took a chance.
Pascal Papé, he's had a towering first half. And again, Dupuis happy to take it slowly. Just dinks it out of play. Half-time comes at the Stade de France. England lead by 14 points to 9.
From an England point of view, well, you can say be satisfied with the lead. Certainly playing away at Parc des Princes, they were the better side immeasurably for 25 minutes. They will be, and Stuart Lancaster will be disappointed that they ceded some of the points back for indiscipline later on. So the question is, more of the same, cut out the poor discipline.
Confusion at the Stade de France. The RBS Championship on its last Sunday. One more Saturday to come. The all-deciding Saturday. Julien Dupuis immediately slows everything down. Lionel Beauxis blasts it downfield. That's better distance from France's 10.
It's a good distance, isn't it? Made by France, and if you're an English supporter, you will want to hear that that is going to be dinner later on. And that Stuart Lancaster has read the riot act concerning giving unnecessary penalties away.
Tom Croft catches. Moritz Botha goes digging for the ball. Dixon finally has it. Chris Robshaw, the captain, it's gone loose. Here's Beauxis. Maxime Mermoz, the replacement. Rougerie. Wesley Fofana now playing on the wing. Jean-Baptiste Poux, good little pass there to Pascal Papé. The captain, Thierry Dusautoir. Papé again. Terrible pass.
Well, I was just about to say that the French look to have come out with a completely different mindset in terms of how they're going to move the ball and keep the ball in hand. And if that is the case, then those have to go to hand. No pressure. Well, he knows straight away, but that doesn't alter the fact that it's unacceptable at this level.
Croft again. Straight down to Lee Dixon. Julien Malzieu. Good follow-up work by England. France only a few yards outside their 22. Ben Morgan comes forward, but it's taken by Arinaud the Key, his opposite number. So, Beauxis does find his man. Mermoz kicks downfield. Ben Foden shepherds it into touch. Territory advantage to France.
It is, but again, you know, winning a ball in the air, so England's players are not necessarily... He's such a fantastic player, Arinaud the Key. What a brilliant player he is.
Fingertips.
But from a French point of view, once you've got England's players drawn into, you know, having to look at the ball, when the ball comes wide, they have a chance to keep the ball in hand instead of ceding a throw to England. And this is an area where England just went on the blink a couple of times towards the end of the half and ceded crucial advantages to the French, but that's a good start.
Croft again. One-handed this time down to Dixon. Sharples, and it comes off. Fofana will take the line out, says the ref.
Question the same again for England.
Tom Croft has gone back to the tail of the line out. Jeff Parling in the middle. And again, it's Croft, though, the target. Further back, Farrell. That goes Poitrenaud and claims.
Tremendous catch by Poitrenaud. And made ground.
Poitrenaud again. Beauxis. The breakout by Zalewski still going. Dupuis. Julien Bonner. The back row. Dupuis. Nicolas Mas, the prop. Malzieu again. Tries to get the pass away. It's gone forward. Ben Foden. He has an advantage. He'll have a go. No advantage. Back for the scrum.
Given that it was almost a run to nothing there, Ben Foden could have chanced his arm, couldn't he? See if he kept the ball in hand, whether he could have made a crucial break rather than, you know, automatically putting boot to ball and giving the French the ball back. A couple of worrying signs that the French are starting to wriggle out of first defence, first up tackles from England.
England with a third, more or less, of the caps of France. But they're in the lead, 2 tries to nothing in the middle there. Serge Blanco, slightly rounder than he was in his playing days, but he was a player.
He's the best fullback he's ever been, I think. A few Welsh people would dispute that, I suppose, from Jean-Pierre.
Well, he'd be up there, wouldn't he? Dimitri Zalewski, his place was under threat, but Philippe Saint-André letting him have his head, and he's been busy today.
Well, England have all the tactical options open here, left and right, because it's an almost central scrum.
Good scrum, England. Very good scrum.
Tremendous work by the English front 5 there. And if you're a French front 5 front run player, certainly you want to know why that happened, and if you could see the angle that we could see, watch from here. There, number 6 comes up, his shoulder comes off. That leaves Jean-Baptiste Poux in a much more difficult position.
You didn't mention that it wasn't straight, Brian, which is unlike you.
No, because all of them are not straight, and it's not good. It's not right.
Ben Morgan, England have the ball back, having missed touch, but Ben Morgan takes them up to halfway. It's not one of Owen Farrell's best.
No, I couldn't quite see where he was trying to force the ball in any event. It was always going to be a kick of that length was never going to have a man under it, but that's well charged down.
Poitrino took an age. Once Poitrino starts to move, the charge can start from England.
Good work, and the French can consider themselves a bit lucky because, as you know, charge downs literally can bounce anywhere.
Well, they provided England's 2 tries. They've doubled that tally with non-charge down tries from kicks, though. Big shout of more from Alain Roland, so France have to keep it moving.
Well, England should have forced that into touch, but they've turned it over, which is even better.
Yeah. The 3/4 scramble back. Ben Morgan. Maxime Mermoz went for the interception. Fofana went for another. It has gone forward, and the whistle does go.
Well, twice England might have gone through because of the fine margins, but they were also dicing with death.
1, 2, but at least it's turnover ball. It is the best ball to have a go with.
Yeah, it is the best ball, and actually, you know, it shouldn't have been an intervention from the winger to slow the ball down as first receiver. You know, with the rule generally, get it wide, couple of passes, because the opposition are in defensive lines.
Penalty has been awarded on the intervention of the...
Has he given a deliberate knock-on there?
John Lacey of Ireland. Deliberate knock-on.
I'd have to see it again. I must admit, at first flush, it didn't seem that to me. Well, certainly Alan Rowland didn't give it, did he?
No, I think he'd had a view.
just asked me about the maul, and I told him I had no issues with the maul.
This is the face of William Servat on the sideline. This is the blue smeared back of Owen Farrell. And this to put England 8 points clear. At the post for the last one, readjusts this time, and England are indeed up to 17 points. France 9, England 17.
Well, this is what was seen as a penalty. Oh, yeah, that's very, very, very borderline. If I had to put my money on it, I would say it wasn't a penalty.
Jean-Baptiste Poux and Dimitri Zalewski have gone on, and at scrum half, Morgan Parra comes on for Julien Dupuis.
Well, you can see what the French, you can hear what they think of that substitution. They're well in favour.
Oh, that's untidy again by England, but Lee Dixon clears the lines in the end. Harry Nordicke, will he take it quickly?
Well, that's a planned move for the first man to go up as a dummy jumper and the next man to take the ball. On that occasion, though, the next man wasn't ready.
The strong man is on. William Servat there with the ball. There's Alex Cordeziero. Nicolas Mas, wearing 3 for France, stays on.
Well, whatever you think about the rights or wrongs of that decision,
Pulling down the arm.
Penalty against England for pulling down at the line-out.
you see, England have just got 3 points, possibly a fortuitous 3 points. Something and nothing. It's a set play which they can defend on the 10-metre line, and now likely to be 3 points given away.
This is Vincent Debatty. Lawrence.
Yeah, just while we see France lining up the next penalty, you know, Dan Cole was taken off sometime in the second half last time he was here. Just look how effective he is in this scrum. Great hit, gets a strong arm bind around Jean-Baptiste Poux, and then just turns the scrum in and starts to bore in on Zalewski. And France have got no real way to go there, and they pop up. And great work also by Tom Croft. Fantastic scrum for England, and more of the same.
And Buxis lashes it wide.
Well, that is a let-off for England, and Stuart Lancaster ought to be saying to his water boys or something, remind them, you cannot defend penalties. Just remember that. You have to stand there and watch the guy swing his foot at it.
Malzieu. Buxis. Now then, this hasn't worked in the past. What can England do with this? It's gone to the right man, but Ben Morgan missed it. And Harry Nordicke makes the tackle on Alex Cordeziero, and England are in their 22. They do have an advantage. Farrell. Play on, says the referee. Pascal Papé has to go down. Nicolas Mas plays scrum half. Parra to Servat, 2 replacements. Du Sautoir.
Push, back.
Servat again. That's good, quick ball. Rougerie. Sharples with the...
That's going to be a penalty.
Deliberate knock-on. Oh, surely not. You can't yellow him for that.
Well, no, well, that's rubbish.
He is.
Well,
now, with a deliberate knock-on while trying to get the pass away here, he's given me no option but to give him a yellow card for that. No, it was not.
Well, Alan Rowland, what can I say? We know you're the referee, we don't need to be the star. I find that astonishing. It was a penalty, yeah, it was a penalty, definitely.
He says it gives me no option. There's always an option.
Yes, there is an option. Is that a yellow card? No, it's not.
Penalty.
Astonishing. And when Alan Rowland has casually given this away now, it has changed.
On a team warning, and it was a deliberate infringement just to prevent a quick play of ball. Completely different to what the French was. Okay.
Well, it said they're on a team warning. That was in the first half for the French on the floor. This is 10 minutes into the second half with a something and nothing.
France overthrow, but it's tidied up by prop once Belgium. Vincent Debatty. Now French. Arinaud the key. Oh, good drive by the number 8. Now England in scramble mode. Bouksis, Rougerie. England are scrambling well, though. That's a crunching tackle. France, though, through Nicolas Mas, the Perpignan prop.
Hands out, white!
Players down, a player down for France. Poitrenaud to Fofana. Inside pass was on. He didn't see Morgan Parra, and France have knocked it forward.
I tell you, that was an immense tackle by Dan Cole there. Fofana, was there an option to pass the ball? Possibly. Well, Thierry Dusautoir believes there was. To be honest, he'd overrun him, hadn't he? I don't think you can blame Fofana there. Or early, very early, he had the chance to give it to Parra.
It's another one of the great angles of Fofana.
Having said that, what worked by a prop to get back and knock the ball down. But this is a big problem now for England, unless, well, I presume they will shove it back in to try and organise this. So they have 8 in the scrum, but they'll be under pressure. Need to get the ball deep away from them, stop the French running, try and run the clock down.
We have a pause in play. It's going to be a huge scrimmage for England to face. What threats against them, Jerry?
Well, this is a huge scrum for England. That front row especially, Corbacero, Cole and Hartley. It's just been a great game up till now, and it's a real test. There's no way that was a yellow card. Alan Rowland got that massively wrong, and I just hope England don't suffer as a consequence of that.
Touch! Pause! Engage!
Scrum engages. France put the heat on. Ben Morgan picks up and makes a vital yard, which allows Owen Farrell to get a good boot on it.
That ball had to go off the field.
It's Clément Poitrenaud. And England have done well to force France out of play.
That is absolutely brainless from Clément Poitrenaud. Because it not only does it give England throw, it gives them, well, it's good work by Ashton, and it's good work by Farrell as well, but silly by the Frenchman.
But what Clément Poitrenaud does not have is a Maori sidestep. I mean, he is a...
Yeah, but Eddie, you think about the thing there. Even if he put the ball in the air, he keeps the ball in play in England territory. Now, it's wasted time because Tom Palmer is coming on now for both. I didn't think both are... I thought he's contributed manfully, but he has been feeling that knock still. Doesn't look, his right shoulder still looks a bit dropped to me.
Tom Palmer is on. Lionel Nallet has come on for France. The venerable Lionel Nallet, 35 now. England cut the numbers, 5 in the line-outs.
Now, can England do what Wales did
when
they simply kept the ball for 5 minutes?
Got them off to a good start, Tom Palmer, with the catch. 10 minutes of this, that would test the patience of the crowd. Off they go. Arinaud the key lets one go through his fingers just for once, but France will have the put-in on that far side. Charlie Sharples in the bin. 7 minutes to go.
Anytime that England want to go down, if they can get the ball out of play so that it takes another 40 seconds or so. I don't understand why France are taking so long over this.
Papé. Because they want one of these, I suppose, Brian, and it needs to be built patiently. It's a good one too, it's a very good one. England haven't got many white shirts to defend this. Julien Malzieu comes away and has lost the ball. So England did well actually to stop that French drive. Lee Dixon at the heart of the operation, injured. Charlie Sharples can only look on from the bin.
There's no reason why England from a line-out couldn't do the same thing and drive at France.
I'm going to ask you to have a word with number 14. Okay, I've had both touch judges after the whistle's gone. He's in the year of the opposition, so I'm going to ask you nicely to have a word with him to cut it out. He's already given away one silly penalty. Okay.
Well, he's from Wigan, so they won't understand him anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Captain Rob Shaw has a quiet word with Chris Ashton. And it's going to be an England throw-in. Jerry.
Well, quite simply for me, Ashton is losing it a little bit. Get him off. Brown's in form. He's on the bench. Get him on the field.
I think we know where you stand on that one, Jerry.
Touch! Touch! Pause!
It's coming from the north, isn't it? That's what it is, Jerry.
Again, England have managed that awkward scrimmage well. Dixon. It's okay. Ben Foden to Ilangi. It ends with an attempt at deftness, which probably isn't his forte.
Well, actually, that could have been very good from Tuilangi, who's injured himself there. I don't know whether that's just cramp or whether he's overextended something.
2 white and 18 blue, okay?
There was, in fact, space there, but the more important thing is it's ceded the throw to France.
Okay. Sorry, brother, there's something going on here. Thierry Dusautoir.
Talking about the line, talking about...
I'm telling you now, so we don't want any messing. Ball goes, you go with it. You don't stay back and do your own thing, okay? Au milieu. He can come in the middle, okay? So you just watch where you put your arms.
No drives.
Time on, Jim.
I don't quite understand what that was all about. Something and nothing, really.
Okay, well, we'll let that one go. William Selvac to relaunch play. Well stolen by Tom Croft. Ben Morgan ships it on. Farrell, Barrett. Tuilangi seems to be recovered from his little attempt at skill. Good take above his head by prop Corvisiero. Jeff Parlin gets the old leg drive going. Chris Ashton. Chris Robshaw. Stabbed through by Foden. Well, England are protecting an 8-point lead. They've got 14 only on the field. Sharples warming up.
4 more minutes. You can make a case for him, kicking too early there. But having said that, it was a good kick when he made it, and he has put the ball into the French 22, or just on the French 22. So it's kept play at the right end of the field. Quick shot there of Jeff Parling, who's done well in the line-outs.
And again, it's excellent work by Tom Croft.
No. Buried in there. It's never coming out of there. Scrum it down, blue ball.
France get the put into the scrum.
Nevertheless, that eats another 40-45 seconds off the clock. And well, obviously there's a big difference in the territory, but England, have come away with the only score, I think, of this ever, if I'm right, 14-9. They went in at half-time, so they're winning 3-0, despite having that territorial...
Pause, engage!
And they haven't conceded in the sin bin.
Nicolas Mas, he certainly turned in there, and he might have taken one in the ribs from Alex Corbiziero. A drive, that is.
Slower. Slow.
Well, all sorts of things can happen to front row players. Never like to see a front row player down. Fortunately, I don't think it's anything too serious.
5 changes on the French side.
Eddie, I don't know what you think about the current fashion of making all seemingly automatic changes. On very few occasions can I remember when it actually enlivens a game dramatically. Can understand it with England, with Botha, who was struggling from a knock early on, but I think they're quite right not to make the automatic changes that they seem to make this week.
Okay.
We've sort of had another lecture from Alain Roland.
But what was the point? What was the point of that? What is he actually saying? Watch what? What was wrong? He isn't playing.
Wait for my call now. Wait for my call. Attendez-moi. Okay, crouch. Touch. Pause. Hey. Les deux équipes. Wait for my call. Okay? I've asked you. You have to be disciplined. Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage.
Well, they went down at the same time as at the last one. Harry Nordicki with Tom Croft hanging onto his boots. Pahat feeds Boxes. Now then, Chris Ashton, a chance to have a go. And he finds Brad Barrett, who finds Manu Tuilagi, who just drops the ball, and away comes Aurélien Rougerie. And Tuilagi made an important tackle on Rougerie. France, though, still in possession. Servat. Marzieux. Boxes. Poitrenaud. Fofana will certainly inject pace, and outside Harry Nordicki. Tom Croft read it well, tracked back. Dusautoir, Poitrenaud, Mermoz, Pascal Papé, Nicolas Mas, the prop.
Away! Tackler, release tackler!
It's been slowed down by England. Servat takes it on. There's no scrum half at the moment. Pahat is there now. Boxes. Poitrenaud to Fofana. Forward pass.
And that should mean that Sharples is back on. And England back to their full complement.
Clément Poitrenaud, who is suddenly very involved. But France still trail by 8. England are about to go back up to their full contingent. Charlie Sharples is back on. There's an England player down by the posts.
As there would be.
Dan Cole, the prop.
Number eight.
Here's Phil Dowson, who is going to come on in place of Ben Morgan. So, 62 minutes are gone, and England start to work the bench. Tom Palmer is on. Phil Dowson is now on.
Well, if England do go on to win this game, it will be the efforts in the 10-minute period that has just gone that will have been the solid, well, the absolute base of a win, because to actually not concede at this level is a tremendous effort.
France spin the scrum and earn themselves the penalty. Pascal Papé pumps the air. We could have a very engrossing 16 and a half minutes here.
Coming around, you broke up, went away, so... No. Okay, I didn't see it that way, number 2, okay?
Alain Roland did not see it the same way as Dylan Hartley.
Okay. They are allowed to push around, and I felt they pushed it around rather than pull it around, okay? That's how I saw it.
Yeah, they are allowed to push you around, but you'd have to wonder why England will want to wheel the scrum on their own ball, don't you?
Well, I think he was saying that France pushed it round.
A lot easier to wheel by pulling the tight head.
Morgan Parra has taken over the kicking duties. That's France's third kicker.
Would be ironic, wouldn't it, if they just spent 10 minutes drafting away and not conceding any points. As soon as they go back to a full complement, 3 points goes on the board.
Not that he had anything to do with the scrum. Last place he'd want to be. Parra. He does strike it sweetly, doesn't he?
Never in doubt, never in doubt.
12 points to 17. The try would bring the scores level. It's a pretty concerted drive by the French. Vincent Debatty. Into the 22, into the safe hands of Arnaud de Key. Wow. Just the unintentional obstruction, scrum only.
So Sarkozy. Don't want to mention that he's behind in the opinion polls, but he is.
Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage. Have a 9.
France get the nudge on, but England then respond. Farrell, Barrett.
Let's.
England take it up through the forwards. Tom Palmer and Dylan Hartley. Not much change out of Thierry Dusautoir.
Given there's 15 minutes only left, Eddie, what England need to do here is make sure that whatever happens, they're left with some sort of a shot for points, either a penalty or a drop goal.
Oof, what a tackle on Brad Barrett. And the forward pass, what a tackle. You know, I think little Morgan Parra was involved in that.
Well, he's taken a bit of a knock, but I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised. Louis Picamol comes on instead of Julien Bonner.
Okay, I'm going to come around this side.
13 and a bit minutes left. France with the put-in, but they are deep inside their own territory.
Third to try, they need.
Time on, Jim.
Okay, just before this scrum, Jonathan.
Yeah, I just felt that you know, from that mistake, if any points would have been sufficed for England, just to get edge again, you know. So disappointing for England. Drop goal or a penalty would have been great.
Call away.
The important point I think Jonathan's making, and I agree with him, is that it would have taken England back in front of you with a converted try. At the moment, they're still vulnerable to that.
Engage.
Matt Stevens going through his warm-up routine. Morgan Parra goes digging for it, aware that it wasn't that comfortable for the French forwards. Now then, Ben Foden. Foden held by Arnaud de Key.
It's turned in the wrong way, that's going to be a penalty.
It is. Although you might make the case that Ari Nordicki had to let him go.
Yeah, but they don't see it that way. As soon as he was turned the wrong way, that was going to happen.
I'm just thinking of the try, or the non-try by Tommy Bowe yesterday. He's allowed to place the ball immediately, but was he released?
Yeah, but I was told, and I looked it up, but the laws in goal, you don't have to release a player. The difficulty with that is whether or not, because it started in play and then went in goal.
We spend some time talking about the laws, don't we?
If you look at that, 7-1 in your own half, that takes you 7 kickable ones, and, well...
Lionel Bouksis, that's got the length. And the direction, that is a very calm head by Lionel Bouksis and an even bigger boot.
So from a situation where England had taken the ball deep into the French half in the 22 and were looking to fashion some sort of scoring chance, it end up watching a kick go over and conceding 3 points, so the lead cut now to any form of score.
Poor old Charlie Sharples, he's come back on, and England have leaked 6 points, and he really hasn't been that involved in it. Still, France through their new man, Louis Picamol. Parra checks the whereabouts of Bouksis, and Bouksis keeps it in play. Ben Foden. France make a thumping tackle, slightly up in the air, but safe. Jeff Parley. Another tackle by Thierry Dusautoir. Dylan Hartley. The flick inside to Chris Ashton. Dixon. Farrell picks it up well. The new player, Matt Stevens. Change of play by Owen Farrell. Wesley Fofana makes it safe in goal. France 22. Just over 10 minutes to go. England protecting their 2-point lead.
Well, there was an opportunity to move the ball wide there, but Owen Farrell deciding they don't want to play conservatively and put the ball down there, which is fine, but England now have to do well off this restart.
Play on, and Tom Croft comes away with it. Rob Shaw, Dylan Hartley, Dusautoir with the tackle. Farrell, long. Barrett to Croft. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Oh. What a response by England. Not the 3 points to a drop goal or a penalty. The 5 for the try. Outstanding solo work by Tom Croft.
Well, if that turns out to be a winning score, it will be a very, very fit winning score. What confidence by Croft to even attempt that. And he shows his athletic ability. Sees the gap. Thank you very much. Doesn't even bother to switch the ball into his opposite hand.
I think it's Rougerie and Emmanuel Ari Nordicki he goes between. Yep.
Bye-bye.
France were trailing, and now they are way behind.
This is really crucial as well. 7 points. France are capable of doing that. This goes over, and I would say quite likely that the win, it will be an England win.
Steady now. Bit of time to go. This to make it 10 points, the England lead. Oh. 9-point lead, beg your pardon. Some say. England lead by 24 points to 15, and this is how they did it. Tom Croft, the outside swerve after the beautiful gliding break.
You watch Rougery's face, he's looking inside him saying, where were you? But frankly, you know, it was there's no, you know, frankly, who cares as well? But I mean, at the end of the day, there was a 2-on-1. He didn't need to drift at all, Rougery. Croft was his man.
Harry Norder-Keane wins it back. Parra comes away with it. France back in possession. They need urgency now. Lionel Nallet, the veteran, picks up. Picamol picks up. They've got time to look for the three-pointer first. Rougerie slips inside to Elangi.
Stay back.
The drive up by Prop Dubati. Mass on his own. France will do well to get it back quickly. They have done. Inside pass to Maxime Mermoz from Fatmanou. Louis Picamol offloads to Thierry Dusautoir. Boxis, the little chip through for Fofana. Oh, that is a marvellous bit of goalkeeping on the line. And the referee blows up because there is an injury, I think.
Time off, Tim. He's not all right.
Phil Dowson, who went down on the ball and is struggling to get back up.
Bang on the nose.
It's okay. No, blue were going forward, scrum it down, going to be the blue ball. Okay,
Well, see the ball goes out wide later on from this kick. Dowson making the ground. What happens here?
Mêlée 5 pour vous. Les bleus. 10.
There's a hit there. Oh, and he gets one from Tom Croft as well. Well, I think
it's the boot of Tom Croft on the face of Phil Dowson. I think Dowson's out already. He's double out.
Leicester Northampton rivalry.
Well, he's a tough old boy because that was took some recovering from.
So Tom Croft just scored what may prove to be the match-winning try for England, but just look how important he is to this England team, particularly in the line-out. We saw it with the Lions in 2009. Here's him taking an England ball at the front of the line-out and obviously winning vital ball. Then he switches to the back of the line-out on England ball. He's so athletic, getting up in the air, and if he's not important enough to England's own ball, here's him disrupting the French line-out again at the front of the line-out to France. And we've got one more clip of him now here. So he's really taken on that mantle and playing an outstanding match so far for England.
Now then, Rob Webber has come on for the injured Phil Dowson and is settling into the back row. There he is, just on the far right.
This is crucial because Webber won't know any of the back row defensive organisation. He won't know how to cover.
Go left.
Unless Dowson is completely gone, unless he is completely out.
Go left. Go left.
Then you could fix that nose up, and I can only consider that he did go out and the doctor's not allowing him on because he would have stayed on otherwise, I'm sure.
Well, blood, he's got to go for blood anyway.
Yeah, they can patch that.
Here we go then, they're going to attack the Rob Webber side of the scrum. Louis Picamol to Parra and Wesley Fofana. I think it'll go upstairs. He doesn't think he scored, or does he? If he has, Wesley Fofana has scored 4 in 4.
Okay. Time off. Just have a quick look, Jim.
Jim Ewell.
Is there any reason why I cannot award the try?
Of Scotland now then. Any reason why Alain Roland cannot score the try?
Have a look here. The touch judge there. Is that Nigel? Foot goes in the air. No, well over.
Try.
And as I said, I don't think you can blame Rob Webber too much because he's not a back row player. And you have to say it was very...
I have a decision.
Yeah.
You may award the try.
Thank you.
And you have to say it was intelligent play by the French to exploit that.
The little figure on the touchline is Morgan Parra preparing the conversion.
What's the time, Jim?
Meanwhile, Nicolas Mas has gone off. It must be for an injury because Jean-Baptiste Poux has come back on.
Now in crucial
What's the score?
for France that this goes over so that they are left with only any form of score to win. Oh, brilliant.
He does have the most elegant left boots. Morgan Parra. France trail, but by the 2 points. France 22, England 24.
Well, you can see there that Webber is caught, but so is Robshaw, actually. Robshaw's having to move, because the other thing is Robshaw had to move from 7 to number 8, where he has played but doesn't play for England, obviously. So a double change was necessitated by the injury, and France, very intelligent and well executed, taking advantage.
Under 4 minutes to go. Louis Picamol, who was very much involved in the build-up to the try,
Ball is outside.
takes inside the French 22. Francois Trinduc is on at outside half.
Sit back.
You know what as well, Eddie, if you're a French supporter, you must be mad that it takes the team seemingly to be down before they show this sort of urgency.
Yeah.
Well, not this sort of urgency, but...
No, this is the slow sort of urgency. Clément Poitonnot. Picamol again. Not clear of their 22 by any means, France. Arinaud de Key.
What England must do is make France work their way out of here, not give a penalty away.
Duc for Rougerie to chase. Aurélien Rougerie storms up to the England 10-metre line. Space for Parra to exploit. Dusautoir tackled. William Selvat, the replacement hooker. Parra again. Dusautoir. Now France are in attacking range. England will have to be careful with the penalty. Parra goes blind again. Picamol. Louis Picamol has to stay infield. Does so. The feed to Selvat. Parra. Trinduc to Arinaud de Key. What a tackle on him. Little Owen Farrell with what might be a match-winning tackle. France still in possession. Selvat will pick up and drive.
Hands out!
Hands out the instruction. Trinduc goes back, waiting for the drop goal opportunity. The forwards wait for it first. Arinaud de Key.
Hands away!
Well, he couldn't get in a better position here. He's going to have a shot at some point.
Less than a minute to go. Here it comes. Francois Trinduc. It's not pretty. It's not long enough.
It's not over.
Well, we have drama here at the Stade de France. We have tension. England are still in the lead, 24 points to 22. And we have 30 seconds left, and the referee will give them the hurry up.
Well, whoever has the longest boot here from England needs to get the ball in as far downfield as they can to get the chase even so that the French don't have any gaps to exploit. Last play of the game.
To Maxime Mermoz. That's the halfway line.
No!
Rougerie, whose break set up that opportunity. Forward pass.
That's
it's not yet. 5 seconds to go. A referee has called for the scrum. Steady, Brian.
I have to play the scrum.
He has to play the scrum, but you can bet that whoever gets their hands on the ball first after the put-in will be booting it as hard as they can towards the out-of-play area.
You know what I'd do? I'd put 2 extra men in this scrum so that you can say, look, why would we go backwards when we've got an 2 extra men, win the ball and then show it off the field?
Ben Young's replacement, scrum half, will feed. It's out safely for Youngs. And there it goes, one of the stars of the day, Owen Farrell kicks it off the park, and England have won in Paris. They have defeated France for the first time since 2008, and it is well deserved. France 22, England 24.
And England with 3 tries did what Ireland couldn't do. They managed to cling on to a lead, notwithstanding the fact that undeservedly, in my opinion, they were sent down to 14 men when Charlie Sharples went off, and the work that they did during that period to keep it to a nil net score was so important, irrespective of the points that they give away later. And that man, Tom Croft, what a brilliant individual try to win it for England.